Spoiler warning, episode 1128. The punks, Frankie and Sanji, have now made it down to the lower level, where the Marines and the pacifistas have mostly taken over. Amidst the chaos, Atlas yells to the pacifistas to wipe out the Marines on the island. There we go, baby girl. Now we got you a whole army as backup. We cut over to Saturn, menacingly staring at nothing. So we see the pacifistas cycle through the levels of authority after Atlas gives the command. The Marines felt that pressure immediately from the pacifistas turning on them. The punks have a conversation inside the Vega tank about how they're not falling because the Vega tank produces island clouds around its wheels that stick to other island clouds. Quickly explaining that, Old Man Punk immediately gets back to searching for Bonnie. Everybody pokes their heads through the bubble in the Vega tank and just start yelling. They are hundreds of feet above her. I don't think she can hear y'all. Yeah, that doesn't last for too much longer. And then the obvious thing happens that should happen. Sanji just uses his observation hockey to find her. And since it's a girl, you know Sanji's not going to miss with this one. He really doesn't miss too often. Sanji finds her and literally says, "I've got a ping." Oda's showing that age, ain't he? Let me get a ping on your location. Sanji just jets off using Skywalk. He's tired of the Vega tank. Anyway, down to Bonnie, we see that Vice Admiral Pomsky has found her. I don't think we saw it too good in the episode, but Pomsky actually has a devil fruit. It's the Rako no Mi. It's the Sea Otter Zone. Other Marines join Pomsky in surrounding Bonnie, and she immediately jumps right back into action again. This time, we see Bonnie coat a pair of flintlocks with her devil fruit power. Like, we see the pink energy surround the actual weapons. And she starts firing something called NDE. Near-death experience, and it shows whoever's hit with it glimpses of their passings. We see one guy hallucinating that his flesh melts right off his bones. It looked like the other guy just saw himself crossing over to the other side. Bonnie used that time to get some distance between her and the Marines, and it looks like Pomsky just lets her, like he does nothing. As she's running away, one of the pacifistas cuts her off. The pacifistas that Atlas just took control of. This is Vice Admiral Bluegrass, and she ate the ride fruit, making her a drive human. It looked like a rope came out of the pacifista's back for her to brace herself on, and she can give it orders and steer it. She was even able to make it engage the laser. That power's cool for real though. But as the laser's firing, Black Knight Sanji comes in and saves the day. Sanji squares up to fight and then turns to Bonnie and says, "Hey, I heard that Kuma was your dad. But you've got to realize that these PX are not him, so you need to fight back." She's been freezing up off and on whenever she sees the pacifistas. The first time we saw Pomsky, he was not actually in his Otter Zone form. But now he is. He just randomly jumped back in. At first I thought he was somebody else, using a move called Otter Hammer. The pacifistas still working for us jump in to keep him busy, and the Vega punks and the Vega tank finally pull up swerving on that corner wall. We hop in and get out of there. But finally, we flash back to the lab. Robin's on the stretcher. Stussy's found the strength to stand up on her own. But as we're about to pull out, Stussy stops us and says that she can't go. She still got work to do. Edison, understanding, quickly rounds up everybody so that we don't impede on Stussy's wishes. Baby gonna sacrifice herself for us. It looks like they just left Kaku there with her in the sea prism bubble. Swing back to Saturn again. We get it, Toei. He right there, Chinky. Anyway, Zoro and Lucci are still clashing, and Lucci ends up sending Zoro flying back, also with a few Tempest kicks behind him. Gets to hiding and is back to those assassination techniques from him. Back to Kizaru and Luffy, still mid Tom and Jerry. Just a flash for a second, just a flash, but we immediately move back to Saturn, who looks like he's about to do something. I think he's about to stand up. Nah, Saturn centers himself in the room, and then weird energy starts coming from him. And then everybody on the island that can somewhat fight starts to sense him. Even the people that really didn't fight were able to sense him a little bit. Jinbei specifically says that he feels something unearthly. Then we see that Saturn is no longer on the ship. With an overview of Egghead, we hear, "Stand down, pacifistas." Over with the punks, they've noticed that the pacifistas have stopped guarding them. Then we put together that somebody higher than them on the authority list must have given a command. The authority list works with the pacifistas, the PX3s, and the Seraphim. From bottom to top, the list goes: high-ranking Marines, and I'm guessing certain Cypherpol agents on 1. 2 is the Vegapunks themselves, Lilith, Shaka, Atlas, York, Pythagoras, Edison, and Old Man Punk himself. And the only people above them would be the ʔurlse, of course. Everyone in the Vega tank starts observing this eerie sky. Lightning's crackling, and we get an announcement. Soldiers on the island. Saint Saturn of the 5 Elders is about to arrive on Egghead. Anyone below the rank of Commodore cannot behold him. We see a green pillar of fire, a pentagram on the ground, lightning striking the pentagram, and out of it, demon form Saturn. This man has horns on his head and the lower body of a spider. From what we've seen, Saturn is called an Ushioni. It's a cow demon spider. One of the Marines, obviously a low-ranking one, looks at Saturn and his head just explodes. The other Marine next to him doesn't even ask, he just takes off running. And here we get Saturn's full title card. Saint J. Garcia Saturn, Godhead of Science and Defense. While everyone in the Vega tank is looking in horror, Kizaru takes the opportunity to ambush us, but Luffy is right on his bumper. Kizaru blasts us off the island cloud path. Luffy tries to save us, but Kizaru stops him, and that's when Luffy pulls out my favorite Gear 5 move, the Star Gun. This is where Luffy passes his effect not only just to an object, but to a living being. We saw him do it with Kaido multiple times. When he was hitting Kaido, his fist was stretching through Kaido's body, turning Kaido's body into rubber as well and stretching it and snapping back into place. Listen, a headshot to the brain, I don't think you are getting your brain stretched and then staying conscious afterwards. Saturn's watching this go on above him, and all he can say is, Nika. Luffy sends Kizaru flying with that star gun, and then we run out of Gear 5th. Luffy didn't catch the Vega tanks, so they crashed as well. Saturn immediately goes to the wreckage and starts terrorizing. Looks at Old Man Punk and is just like, you haven't passed yet? Dang, bro. Bonnie, with fear, shock, and anger in her eyes, leaps back into action for a 3rd time. All business, no games played. She has not hesitated, not one bit. She runs and gets a sword that a Marine dropped. Tears in her eyes, teeth gritting, just runs and just jabs into Saturn. And that is where our to be continued starts. No new episode until May 18th, I think. I'll catch y'all later, and